Corsica, an island of contrasts. In places more Italian than French, for 51.5 weeks each year it's a haven of peace and tranquility. Then the World Rally Championship arrives. This year the rally moved from autumn to spring, so the weather would be even more unpredictable than usual. 16 stages, and in fact 8 repeated, made up the rally, with the 3 days centred around a service park on the outskirts of the island's capital, Ajaccio. Day 1 had been mainly dry, but Day 2 began wet. Just how wet can be seen from the state of the road surface from Colin McRae's onboard camera. And the pirouette performed by Armin Schwarz's car on the day's opening stage. The change from sunshine to rain should have helped the Ford team, but it wasn't as great an advantage as they'd hoped. A poor tyre choice also cost the team precious seconds.
Into 6 left, into 4 right flank.
The Subaru's Peter Solberg, 2 stage wins but also 2 punctures meant that the day was a case of all or nothing.
1 right plus. Tightens, slow 4 left. Oh, okay now.
All the time, something!
But nothing was what his teammate Tommy Mäkinen will take away from Corsica.
Tarkasti puoli, pirun pitkä koo, oikein vähän helppo sumppu. 7.
This rock caused the rally's first major retirement, Mäkinen crashing out of the event for the 3rd year in a row.
Suddenly full of water this straight and you kept on aquaplan and there was nothing to do anymore.
As expected, the rally's first 2 days were dominated by the Peugeot team, and in particular this man, Gilles Panizzi. After 12 of the 16 stages, it was an all-Peugeot top 3. Panizzi led from the 2000 world champion Marcus Grönholm, with the reigning champion Richard Burns in 3rd place. In all, the Silver Bullets had set the fastest time on all but 2 of those 12 stages.
With 3 cars in the top 3, I'm sure Peugeot, they want to keep that, but also there's only 2 of us can score points for manufacturers, so I think it's open. We can, as far as I know, do what we want to do.
While Peugeot were delighted, others were less happy. Armin Schwarz was the best of the Hyundai drivers in 9th place, while Francois Delacour's Mitsubishi was 8th. Both drivers, however, outside the points. Bugalski in a semi-official Citroën had been expected to pose a threat to Panizzi, but he ended Day 2 in 4th place after a string of minor problems. This was how the leaderboard stood after Day 2. The top 6 scored championship points, remember. Panizzi was on course to score his 2nd win on the island in 3 years, while Bugalski, Colin McRae, Carlos Sainz and Peter Solberg would fight for the remaining points on the final day. Those 4 were split by just 25 seconds. At this point, it's worth reminding ourselves of the current Drivers' Championship standings. Grönholm is on course to extend his lead, with Mäkinen, of course, failing to score here. Peugeot are set to pick up the maximum 16 manufacturers' points, so both the 4 drivers will be under pressure to gain the best possible finishing positions.
Corrado, it looks like this could be a very historic day for Peugeot.
Hopefully, yes. I think that we will win in the rally, but it's true also that we have 3 cars in 1st, 2nd and 3rd position. We didn't give orders to the drivers because they are all skillful and with a lot of common sense.
The final day consisted of just 2 stages to the south of Ajaccio, which would be repeated, giving a total of exactly 112 kilometres. Much to Ford's disappointment, the weather was forecast to improve once again. Thanks to Virtual Spectator, we can take an overview of Stage 13, the day's first. Hairpin bends are very much a feature of the first part of the stage, which climbs to a high of around 500 metres above sea level, before a much more open, flowing section down to the finish, where another series of hairpins provide something of a sting in the tail. The 24 kilometres will take the cruise around 15 minutes to complete. Run almost within sight of Ajaccio, the stage was basking in the morning sunshine. With the top 15 run in reverse order, Harrier of Ampera enjoyed a clean road. 9th fastest, the Finn moved up a place to 14th overall, with over 6 minutes down on his colleagues in the silver Peugeots. Francois Duval resumes his attempt to win the Junior World Championship on the next round in Spain, but he was an impressive 10th place in Corsica. The dry roads meant Peter Solberg had high hopes of catching the two Fords ahead of him. His day didn't begin well, however. Both Sainz and McRae were quicker than the Impreza on stage 13. Carlos Sainz and co-driver Luis Moya were equal third fastest, but were concerned that their tyres had worn more than they'd expected and hoped they'd hold out for the next stage.
Izquierda rápidamente, al menos se cierra a fondo. Derecha, izquierda, izquierda, buena más ojo, sucia, se cierra mucho y mucho ras. Para uno corto. Derecha, derecha, acá se cierra poco y ras.
Colin McRae was a man on a mission.
50. K6 right into 1 right. Into 6 left. 70. K6 right and left and 4 right minus. Into 6 left and 5 right plus and 5 left plus and long 6 right.
Rogalski, however, was equally as determined.
Can you keep Colin McRae behind you?
Yes, I drive faster.
The damp first half of the stage, however, saw the Zara struggle for grip. It wasn't until the drier downhill section that Rogalski felt confident, but by then the damage had been done. McRae set the fastest time, with Rogalski only 12th quickest, and so the Ford driver had snatched 4th place away from the Citroën. With a gap of just under a minute from 4th to 3rd, McRae was unlikely to worry Richard Burns and co-driver Robert Reed.
Slight right, braking 30, flat left in 20, fast right minus, and medium right plus in. 30, flat left to easy right plus cut. 20 flat left, 50, right max, 60 slight left into slight right, and slight right braking 70, easy left to fast left plus cut. 40, flat right, 70, easy left 20, easy left in 30, braking slow medium right in, and slow medium right to flat left 100.
Burns, in fact, was second fastest, while his teammate Marcus Kronberg was 5th. It made little difference to the leaderboard, though. The pair were still nearly 17 seconds apart.
Oikea laita vasen eri suppuun. Ja oikea jouhee. Vasen täys ja oikea laita vasen pyöreä kirraa. Oikein helppo ylinypyyn 210.
Gilles and Hervé Panizzi were 7th quickest, but their lead was still over 41 seconds, and so they were now just 3 stages away from victory. Less fortunate was Kenneth Eriksson, who was the slowest of the 3 Skoda drivers through stage 13 after his Octavia picked up a puncture. Let's take a look at the middle kilometre or so of the stage through the eyes of the virtual spectator. Even halfway through the stage, McRae has already opened up a gap from his teammate Sainz. The pair's Pirelli tyres benefiting from the damp uphill climb, but the best was yet to come from both Solberg and Burns. Both obviously enjoyed the drier downhill second half of the stage. Solberg made up that gap to Sainz, and the pair ended up on exactly the same time, while Burns did even better. You can see just how far behind the Peugeot driver is, but his Michelins helped him to catch and pass both Solberg and Sainz to set the second fastest stage time, just 4.3 seconds slower than McRae. bravery obviously also came into play on the long descent. All the drivers hit around 180 kilometers an hour. On to stage 14, which for Kenneth Eriksson lasted around 70 metres. Tina Turner is quickly out of the car to investigate, but her hand signals are clear. The car isn't going any further.
We lost the drive, on the start line, Maybe it's something like the crown wheel or pinion or something. Couldn't go any further,
But Eriksson wasn't the only casualty of stage 14. Francois Duval's superb drive ended in a tree around 15 kilometres into the stage. A cruel end to such a mature drive by the 21-year-old. Petter Solberg's up-and-down rally continued with 5th fastest time, slower than Sykes but quicker than McRae. Still 7th, Solberg knew that the point-scoring 6th place was now only a tantalising 5.2 seconds away.
20 short, 2 right. And line into 3 left tightens, minus of a crest, into short 2 right plus, opens, and 6 left into 4 right minus, open.
Sykes though had no intention of giving up that 6th place without a fight.
2. Derecha frenando, derecha 40 terceras de tierra. Para izquierda rápido, ojos de tierra a fondo. Para derecha rápida menos largas de tierra a fondo. Para izquierda rápido, ojos extra de tierra poco y mucho ras, asar. Para derecha rápida menos corta, 1. Izquierda buena más ojos de tierra, asar mucho.
The afternoon promised drier roads, and that wasn't good news. Colin McRae was in a similar position, but he was trying to stay ahead of 5th place Bugalski.
And 4 left. 120. Careful, 6 right tightens to 5 minus. And slow 4 left tightens. And 6 right. And right tightens to 5 plus cut. Into left tightens to 3 plus.
Bugalski though took nearly 10 seconds back from McRae on stage 14. This, it seemed, would be a fight to the finish. Richard Burns and Robert Reed set the fastest time on the stage.
Right plus, 50, easy right long, 70, medium left minus to medium left minus in, 80, medium right to key right in, 40, flat left, 100 is in, 80, medium right to key right in, 40.
Marcus Gronholm was second quickest, just 2.6 seconds slower than his teammate. The gap between the pair was still 14 seconds, so had Burns left his charge too late, and would the Peugeot management call an end to their battle to reduce the risk of either crashing out?
Vase täys, 120. Oikeri helppo. 5 vaseri tiukka leikkaa.
All that mattered little to Pinixi, counting down the kilometres left, what surely must be his first win of the season.
Droite à fond, soulage. 100 mètres. Gauche 95.
Je l'aimais plus jamais, ce bonhomme.
Gauche 95. 60 mètres. Gauche 95, presque plus.
Just 2 stages now remained. Panitsi's lead was still over 31 seconds. Gronholm and Burns continue to scrap for second, but still on course for a whole Peugeot podium, while 4th to 7th were still only around 20 seconds apart. Anything could still happen before the finish.
Richard, second stage win of the rally, great news for you.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's a bit difficult to risk Peugeot getting a 1-2-3, but also it would be nice to be in the middle of that rather than at the back of it. So I'm still going to try.
Marcus, it looks like it's going to be 6 points for you in this rally.
We don't know yet. It's still 2 stages to do. Maybe 10 also.
It looked all lost on day 1, so you must be pleased to be up there fighting for some decent points.
Yeah, no, fourth would be great. You know, sort of sixth, fifth was the position we were looking at before the rally. If we can get a fourth, it's brilliant.
Are you surprised how fast Colin was because the sun's shining? Pirelli rubber usually better in the rain.
No. It's me. Don't a good feeling with my car. It's very difficult.
No stage win for you this morning. Were you taking it easy?
Not easy because we have the change of the grip, and sometimes it was difficult, wet and on mud sometimes outside the asphalt, and you must to stay very concentrated in the car.
The rally's penultimate stage was a rerun of the day's opener, which had seen such a storming drive from Colin McRae. Francois Delacour was by now in 8th place, poised to score a manufacturer's point should anyone ahead of him falter. That was what Peter Solberg also needed. 7th place was good for the team, but he wanted a single driver's point at least. But equal third quickest on the stage when Solberg and Phil Mills at the last moved into a point-scoring position.
6 left opens, caution slow, 60, open hairpin left. Half long, opens flat. 6 right plus.
Para izquierda rápida más.
Sainz and Moya were only 6th fastest, which meant the Subaru pair had moved ahead of the Ford duo by just 0.8 of a second. The last stage promised fireworks. In the circumstances, the last thing Sainz needed at this point was for the team to point out exactly what was happening. McRae and Nicky Grist were locked in their own battle with Philippe Bugalski. A little over 3 kilometres into the stage, that battle ended abruptly.
Left plus tight was cut ruts. And 3 right. 30, hairpin right. You okay?
Grist's concern for his colleague is a reminder of the pair's accident on the island 18 months ago, when he was forced to watch helplessly as McRae was cut out of the car after being trapped upside down for around 45 minutes. There were no such worries this time, with a paramedic swiftly on hand to check on the pair. McRae, though, had suffered an injury to his hand and had mild concussion, and so was airlifted to hospital as a precaution. The stage stopped to allow the rescue services to attend the accident.
Just been speaking to Nicky. Basically, there's like a third gear left-hand corner into a right-hand corner which had some mud on it, and they got around the left-hander, turned into the right, and basically had understeered off the road, and then took a very heavy impact.
Bugalski completed the stage unaware of the fact that McRae had been injured. 4th place was now a little more secure, but there was no realistic chance of catching the trio ahead.
Right to plus in, to easy left to plus 60, slipping maybe medium left minus gravel, in low, 20 medium right.
Burns was slowed by spectators as he passed the scene of McRae's crash. 5th quickest, 1.3 seconds slower than Grunho. It looked to be a tall order to make up over 15 seconds on the last stage. Grunholm showed that he was far from beaten by setting the quickest time on the stage. Just the last test now remained.
Saattaa oikein nopea suppuun ja vasen hidas paskaa.
Finizzi was held on the start line to allow the medical teams into the stage. When it was then cancelled, he drove through at slow speed, unaware of what the organisers would do about his time, but like all the drivers, concerned that the injured McRae would be okay.
Nicky, Collins ended up in Ajaccio Hospital. What happened?
Thoughts of 2000 for a second there. It happened ever so quickly. I mean, there was nothing. I could hear Colin just say, like, oh, you know, like we'd lost grip. And then the next minute there was impact. I mean, there was nothing else to do. You know, Colin's gone to hospital now to be checked out. And, you know, it looks like maybe a cut and broken finger, probably at worst, I hope.
What went through your mind when it happened? Is it, here we go again, Corsica?
No, I mean, I obviously can't really remember exactly what happened, but you know, it was definitely not coming back on, and it was after the car stopped I realised it was, you know, it was quite a severe impact because the roll cage was in against my leg. So the biggest worry was just to get out of the car and make sure everything was okay.
What is it about you and Corsica?
I don't know. It's all flashed back there. I thought not again, but you know, you've got to accept these things happen. Unfortunately, generally on tarmac, there's absolutely no room for error. And I think now with the double usage of stages, it obviously makes it, you know, the risk of getting caught out in these places a lot more.
At the start line of the final stage, the drivers were in high spirits.
Wait for the helicopter.
Okay, this is top secret. Okay.
News had obviously spread that McRae would be okay.
You're Richard Burns. We are you're going into the last stage now soon, so what is your expectation?
Sorry, I can't understand what you're saying.
McRae's retirement, Bugalski ineligible for manufacturing points, Peugeot's able to score, meant that 8th place Marco Martin was able to score a single point for Ford. Francois Delacour also scored his first points for Mitsubishi, while the team was also encouraged by the development work they've been able to do. Solberg finished 5th, content with his performance, but well aware that he'd have been a contender for a podium place, had luck been a little kinder to him. Sixth quickest on the last stage, but again slower than Solberg, Sainz would have to settle for 6th place, and a one driver's point abroad. Fastest on the last stage, Bugalski's privately entered Citroën was 4th. Again, luck hadn't smiled on the Frenchman very often over the weekend, but he was pleased with the preparations for his next event in Spain in 2 weeks' time. Peugeot, however, never really looked like scoring anything other than a clean sweep of the top 3 places. The first time that's been done since the Rally of Great Britain in 1995. On that occasion, Subaru finished 1-2-3, with a young Richard Burns in 3rd place. That's where he finished in Corsica 2, his best ever result on the islands.
It's been good. It's been good to. I hope everybody finishes in the Peugeots. We still got to see yet, but I think it's been quite a good rally for me.
This was also Marcus Grönholm's best finish on tarmac. The team's split time confirmed he was on the pace, but that hardly mattered. 2nd place meant Grönholm was happy enough.
Vasen eri ja oikein eri. 7 oikein. Nopea sumppu.
Do you think she'll still be able to beat you, or do you know yet?
No, I think Jill is faster, and it's normal that he's going to win.
Uncertainty over the times from stage 15 was finally resolved. Panizzi would receive the same time as Grönholm, so started the final stage with a lead of 31 seconds. Every rattle, every squeak from the car set Panizzi's nerves on edge, but everything worked perfectly. Their boss was about to become a very happy man. Panizzi's winning margin in the end was over 40 seconds, with Grönholm and Burns completing Peugeot's perfect day. Bugalski, Solberg and Sainz rounded off the top 6, while both Mitsubishis and Freddie Loix's Hyundai were among the chasing pack.
Gilles, 8 stage wins on your home event. It's been a great rally for you.
Yes, fantastic, and happy, very happy. And I think it was not easy to win, but confident beginning to the end. And all the team are very confident for this result.
Marcus, congratulations on your best ever asphalt result.
Yes, thanks. It was good. My best result on asphalt. So I am really happy.
Why were you quicker this time? Is it just still a learning process?
Yes, I think so. Now, without any mistakes, and it was quite okay. The car was good all the time. But still, it's a little bit gap to Gilles, but maybe during this year we can catch him.
Welcome back!
Richard, 2 stage wins, 3rd overall. You must be delighted.
Very, very happy. I mean, it's been a good day today. I tried very hard to catch Marcus today, obviously, but he was a little bit. The gap was a little bit too big this morning, 20 seconds, but we got it down a little bit, but not enough.
Grönholm has now opened up an 8-point lead over the other 2 event winners, Mäkinen and Panizzi. The consistent Sainz is 4th, with Burns moving up into 5th place, while in the series for manufacturers, Peugeot have a huge advantage over Ford and Subaru, to the delight of the team boss.
Corrado, we said this was a historic day, and it is. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, yes. Here in France, in our country, with our French cars, with our French driver, Gilles, winning the rally, and with 2 others exceptional drivers, Marcus and Richard, who have done a fantastic job. everybody has been perfect here, not because the result is the one you know, but because really during these 3 days, nothing happened to destroy the atmosphere, the serenity in the team. We are really very close to each other, and things are working very well.
The series stays on tarmac for the next round of Rally Catalunya in Spain in 2 weeks' time, as Citroën rejoin the fray. Here in Corsica this weekend, however, all 3 of the silver bullets started for the real role. Gilles Panizzi led from start to finish and richly deserves his champagne. From the Rally of France, goodbye.